Okay, this is it. So these are the 10 most common philosophies of education. We have the idealism, realism, essentialism, perennialism, progressivism, behaviorism, naturalism, extensionism, constructivism, and reconstructivism. So these 10 ism of education, ma'am and sir, surely 101% you will encounter any of these or all of these when you will take the board exam, particularly on prof ed or professional education as coverage of the exam, okay? Or prof ed coverage. So we'll begin. Idealism, again, this stresses the existence of ideas independent from the material world. Ideas that which exist in the mind are the only reality. I did tell minutes ago that idealism, it only exists in the mind as propagated by Plato, ma'am and sir. So, what are the examples? Say our values, our spirituality, our doctrines. So these are just existing in our mind so long as it's not manifested. So these things are inside the mind and these are the only truths. Okay? Because under idealism, the ideas, the truths, the facts do exist in the mind only, or the reality exists in the mind. Now, the opposite of this is realism, as propagated by Aristotle. It concerns with what is real should be observable, should be demonstrated, and should be perceivable by the senses. Okay? So, if our students do have behavior manifestations, so based on our interpretations of those behavior, so the one that they show, the one that they have been demonstrating before the class, it's what we call as realism. Ug unsa atong makita, unsa ato ang ma-sense, ug unsa ato ang ma-perceive, these matters are the reality. Because reality must be sensible. Okay? Next, essentialism. The keywords for essentialism, ma'am and sir, the development of the 3 essential R's. The one that you see right now on the screen, the 3 R's, it stands for reading, writing, and arithmetic. Okay? Reading, writing, and arithmetic. You might be asking, sir, why is it that arithmetic, why is arithmetic included? In fact, it does not start with letter R. Yeah, it is what it is. It has been, it has been propagated. Maybe perhaps in order to have an acronym that can easily be remembered. So that's why 3 R's is created. So 3 R's means reading, writing, and arithmetic. Arithmetic means, in simple terms, it's mathematics, okay? Or calculating, solving mathematical equations. So reading, writing, and mathematical equations or mathematics. Arithmetic. So in the board examination, this will be constructed in a multiple choice and in a situational manner. You have to be so keen in determining the content and context of a particular question so that we can properly select the kind of philosophy as laid down under the respective choices. The 4 choices in the board exam. Timanin ninyo, basta cognitive development, idealism. Ideas exist in the mind, idealism. Realism, observable behavior as manifested by the students because we see reality as real and factual. So that is realism. Essentialism, if teacher Juan de la Cruz focuses the discussion on the development of reading, writing, or mathematical equations, it is essentialism. Because reading, writing, and mathematical equations are so essential from the word itself. Now, perennialism. Take note of this. The word perennial meaning unchanging, permanent, and it will be as it is and as it was. Okay? So perennialism, ma'am and sir, the keywords of this understanding of truth, which can be found in the great books, humanities, and works of civilization. If teacher Juan de la Cruz lays down the contents of Philippine history, it will be as it was. And so it is a perennialist perspective. If we study the philosophies like propagated by Plato, Aristotle, Socrates, Alexander the Great, Confucius, and other philosophers, ma'am and sir, if we study their works, or if the teacher imparts their works towards the students, if the question is somehow going that way, perennialism is the answer. Okay? Basta about humanities, mga history books, philosophies, and the works of the famous civilization, perennialism na. Do you so far follow?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Progressivism. Now, the keywords for this progressivism, learning by doing things. Okay? If our students are exposed to experiments, they are given the opportunity to do hands-on activities, that is progressivism, learning by doing. Because under progressivism, since we allow them to have hands-on performance tasks, activities, or evaluative measures, it connotes change, growth, and development because they actually experience that. Say in the case of tick-book related programs, can you become an efficient and effective mekaniko without having the actual experience on fixing cars? Di ba, dili? So tick-book related programs or other activities where students are given the time to immerse themselves, do hands-on activities, it's progressivism. Okay? Learning by doing things. Next, behaviorism. In behaviorism, this is in harmony with the idea that teachers, we have to establish a conducive classroom for the transmittal of learning or the acquisition of learning. Teaching, learning process, and other pedagogical processes could not be successful if our environment is not conducive for learning. That's why in the classroom has to be well ventilated, classroom has to be clean, classroom has to have good designs and not irritating to the eyes, because it destroys and hampers the teaching learning process. So in behaviorism, provide a good environment in order to modify and shape the student's behavior. Okay? So the keyword right there is provide favorable or conducive learning environment so students can easily learn and grasp, acquire the objective set on that particular day. Next, naturalism. It postulates to unfold the child's potential. We have to prepare the child to adapt to the changing times and needs. Okay? The keywords are unfold the child's potential for him to adapt to the changing times and needs. It's not like students are being educated to prepare them for a definite vocation or to a definite social position or social standard we just allow them to really express who they are and help them unlock their full potential so they could be adaptive to whatsoever changes that happen in the society. Because societal changes are the only permanent things in this world. We could not say that society remains as it was or as it is. Society's evolution is unstoppable, and it will be forever like that. Nobody can stop that, and it is highly inevitable. Nobody can escape changes in the society. So existentialism, take note of the keywords. May freedom to choose ang mga students, and they have to appreciate themselves as unique individuals. Take note of that. Under existentialism, na sila freedom to choose how to live their lives, and they must celebrate their diversity and uniqueness. Okay? Now, number 9, constructivism. It means that learners or people, human beings, we construct our own reality based from experience because we are the ones giving meaning, interpreting our experiences. Take note of that. Constructivism gani, from the word construct, kita nag-construct sa atuang reality. Kanong kita man? Because we derive our way of interpreting the realities from the experiences that we have. Okay? Basta na gani constructing reality by reflecting our own experiences, it is now a constructivist perspective under constructivism. Do you follow, Ma'am Sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the last part. This is it. Reconstructivism. In some other books, this is termed as social reconstructivism. It's the same. Social reconstructivism or reconstructivism is the same philosophy. Okay? The keywords are, for instance, Juan de la Cruz presents the corruption of the government in his classroom. Which of the following philosophies does Juan de la Cruz action, or is Juan de la Cruz action inclined of? Okay? Yan adi kay choices. So, mag-present ka ng political, economic, social issues ang usa ka teacher. That teacher is an advocate of reconstructionism. Okay? Because in reconstructionism, identification of social, economic, and political problems are vital to formulating solutions, addressing the problems in order to create a better society, a better world to live in, away from all the marginalizations, discriminations, all forms of abuses, and all other crimes. Because under reconstructivism, it advocates the development of a better society or a better world. So that concept, if it is manifested by the teacher or by the students, it is inclined with reconstructivism.